All right, beyond the police chief interview, we were talking about just some of the other unanswered questions out there, and you were talking during the break about the Memphis fire personnel, that we really don't have any answers to what happened there.
Yeah, we know they've been relieved of duty. It came out today, I believe, that the investigation into those fire personnel will wrap up next week. But, you know, there's a lot of things we don't know about what their role was. We're maybe talking about the video in a second, what will show up on the video, but so many questions there. I mean, what other supervisors were supposed to be called? Were they called? Did they heed the call? I mean, just so much still out there beyond just these 5 officers.
Indeed. What still kind of haunts you about this, Otis?
Well, what really haunts me is why they felt the need to stop this kid, I'm calling the kid, I'm sorry, 29-year-old man, in the first place. And Chief Davis doesn't know.
And it's still about that too. I'll just quickly interrupt you.
Okay.
Is generally speaking in this business, we'll hear whispers, oh, well, he was into drugs, or well, he was part of a gang or something. No, there has not been any of
like
that.
Like coffee, like sunsets, like the skateboard,
and
worked at FedEx.
I mean, that's the only thing that I think I've got questions.
That's the only problem you got. I think the family did a really smart thing by putting out their own video of him skateboarding around Shelby Farms.
His life. He's alive.
He goes there to watch the sunset. He's an accomplished photographer. He is and that's the picture we see of him.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a good, by all indications, he is a good person, never committed a crime. You asked me about my why. My why is, why did you stop this? And the question gets to be, was it bias? Now, race has been mostly taken off the table here because we got 5 African-American officers and the victim is black. But that does not take off the table bias. And what kind of bias did you have that you wanted to target this young man and then apply the severe beating that you did?
And the disproportionality of these specialized units, which, you know, records show a lot of brown and black people are disproportionately pulled over by those in traffic stops. And if, you know, another why is if this was reckless driving, let's say maybe it was suspicion of DUI, aren't you going to do a field sobriety test? How did it end up from that? Like, excuse me, sir, walk in a straight line. Why is he running? Why were there 2 confident, you know, and then also too, what came out the why, the initial is the Rains and Ross Road, but then we later find out, well, actually, no, it was about 80 yards from his house. 4/10 of a mile away. I mean, you know, what happened in those 4/10 of a mile?
And Chief Davis has said that she can't find any evidence of the reckless driving. She said that publicly. So still, tell me why you stopped this man.
And at the end of the interview, you saw that Chief Davis kind of talked about the right to wear the uniform, because I think the broader community conversation is, could this have been me? And how can we make sure there are less officers like that arresting everyday Memphians?
Well, she says she wants to change the culture, and she has a huge task ahead of her, it sounds to me.
She does.
You know, I think even though we, as we sit here Friday afternoon, have not yet seen the video, when it airs, we will have seen it.
Yeah.
And if the accounts of what we're about to see, a fairly young man crying for his mother at the end, some of his last words, asking, what did I do, what did I do? It's going to be heart-wrenching for sure. All right, we got to leave there, unfortunately. We are out of time. I want to thank my good friend Brad and my good friend Otis for being here, and thank you at home as well for being here, and we'll see you next week for ABC 24 This Week.